The Christmas Magic of the Miller Family and Santa Claus. In a small, snowy town lived the Miller family, Father David, Mother Grace, and their two children, Sophie and Max. The Millers were known for their warmth and love, and every year, they would eagerly prepare for Christmas. They would hang their stockings, decorate the house with twinkling lights, and gather around the fireplace to share stories of past Christmases. But this year, things were different. One thing that never ran out: love for one another. One chilly December evening, as Sophie and Max sat by the window, watching the snow fall gently outside, they couldn't help but feel a little sad. Sophie turned to her little brother and whispered, "I don't think Santa will come this year. We don't have enough money for presents." Max, who was always full of hope, smiled and said, "Santa knows when we need him. I believe he'll still come, even if we don't have anything to give him." The next day, the Miller family gathered around their small Christmas tree. There were no presents underneath, but they sang carols, shared laughter, and enjoyed the warmth of their little home. Sophie and Max tried to make the best of it, remembering that Christmas was about love, not gifts. That night, just before bed, Max made a special wish. He stood by the window, looking at the twinkling stars, and whispered, "Dear Santa, please bring joy to our family this Christmas. We don't need toys or anything fancy. Just bring some magic to our hearts." As the children fell asleep that night, the snow continued to fall, covering the world in a peaceful blanket of white. Unbeknownst to the Millers, Santa Claus was already on his way. Late that night, as the clock struck midnight, Santa Claus and his reindeer arrived at the Miller house. His sleigh, filled with gifts and magic, landed softly in the backyard. Santa, with his jolly laugh and twinkling eyes, carefully tiptoed into the living room and placed a small stack of gifts under the tree. He smiled to himself, knowing that sometimes, the best gifts are those that warm the heart, not just the hands. Santa knew how special the Miller family was. He had been watching them all year, seeing their kindness, their love, and their generosity despite their challenges. This Christmas, he was determined to bring them something more precious than any toy: a little bit of Christmas magic. The next morning, Sophie and Max woke up to find the gifts under the tree. They couldn't believe their eyes. There were toys, books, and even a basket of homemade treats. But what touched their hearts the most was a note from Santa Claus that read, "To the Miller family. Your love and kindness have filled the world with light this year. May this Christmas bring you joy, peace, and the magic that only comes from a heart full of love. Merry Christmas. With love, Santa Claus." Tears of joy filled Grace's eyes as she read the note aloud. "It's a Christmas miracle," she said, hugging David, Sophie, and Max tightly. "Santa came, not because we had money, but because he saw how much love we have for each other." The Millers spent the day together, laughing, playing, and enjoying each other's company. They didn't need grand presents to make their Christmas special. The magic of the season was already with them: the love they shared, the kindness of Santa Claus, and the joy of being together. That Christmas, the Miller family learned that the true spirit of Christmas isn't about what you receive, but about the love you give and the joy you share. Santa Claus had brought them the most beautiful gift of all, a reminder that even in the toughest times, love and magic can make anything possible. And as the snow continued to fall outside, the Millers knew they would always carry the spirit of Christmas in their hearts.